What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nikolai Espresso and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. I'm super hyped because tomorrow is the official worldwide reveal of Call of Duty World War II, and if you guys have been following along, chances are a lot of you guys are hyped as well. So with that said, I figured before we get into when we see a lot of stuff here revealed to us tomorrow, that probably being a reveal trailer, some gameplay wise, maybe in terms of campaign, some developer thoughts and different features we'll be seeing within the year, some pre-orders, things like that. All this kind of stuff will be debuted tomorrow, so I figured let's take a look back right now at where we are within Call of Duty World War II and talk about everything that we know and that's on the table information-wise so that you guys can be caught up 100% by the time the reveal happens at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. So let's jump way back. Let's talk about the stuff that we first knew in terms of generalities, that being, firstly, we knew that Sledgehammer was next up on the docket. We've known that for quite some time. It's their year in the cycle, and for the longest time initially, many thought it would be a Vietnam-era Call of Duty, being that Sledgehammer started, never finished, and then had to scrap a Vietnam title that they had in development predating Modern Warfare 3 once they got contracted to help assist Infinity Ward, who was in the midst of the fallout of the lawsuit with Vince Zampella and co. and all that. They ended up having to scrap their idea that they were going to pitch to Activision and help focus on completing Modern Warfare 3 in time for the fans. But while they had to get rid of that idea, it's one that many thought may have been making a return considering the number of interviews with Glenn and Michael in which they stated their love for the era and how much that everyone in the studio who worked on that at that time still holds that project very near and dear to them. Additionally, many took hint that maybe perhaps the DLC weapons may have been hinting towards the time period from Advanced Warfare drops, though in retrospect, the same could be said about the World War II weaponry featured in the previous title as well. But fast forward until just recently, which actually at this point, a day over a month ago, on March 24th, we had our first real look in at Call of Duty 2017 and what was called Call of Duty World War II, and that took everybody by surprise. The community was buzzing. This leak came out of nowhere and was seemingly a little bit earlier than normal, but that aside, it took everybody by storm. What was featured was what seemed to be some concept and key art for a title by what we know now is confirmed as Call of Duty World War II, with a group of soldiers storming Omaha Beach on D-Day. As well, there were multiple steelbook casings that had various pieces of art, perhaps collector's editions of the title, that were being tested out for feedback internally to prep for the launch. While we don't know why there were so many steelbook concept arts, there was still enough to be a helping hand in providing more evidence. This was initially met with skepticism, as many proclaimed it was a still image or a piece of concept art from Saving Private Ryan, but upon further investigation, there were no matches across basically anything that the community could find. Having even reverse image searched the picture myself across billions of images, there were no matches. Additionally, the logo was brand new, completely brand new font styling, all that good stuff that goes along with it. And the final piece of evidence that made people believe in this year's title was the original leaker of the imagery was also the same person who initially leaked Infinite Warfare around this time last year when we were first starting to get ready for the reveal of this year's title. So the credibility was growing with this. A few days later, on March 29th, we ended up getting a rather odd fact shared with us as a community. The leak that took place on the 29th was simply a wider angle shot of the collectible steelbooks that we'd already seen, but it wasn't about the idea of the steelbooks that perplexed and astonished people. It was the labeling of the casing that did. While we couldn't see it in the original imagery, the newer version of the casing image was wide enough to showcase the header in which it was labeled with the internal codename of Stronghold. Now, for those of you guys that don't know why this is relevant, this actually predates Black Ops 3. Back whenever Sledgehammer was finishing up their game's life cycle, or rather halfway through it to be honest, when things started to heat up for the promotion of Black Ops 3, we ended up getting a rumor that the next title was going to be called Stronghold. Now this was then in turn perceived to be the working name for Black Ops 3, which we know wasn't actually the case, but that leak never actually pertained to the next Call of Duty game, but rather the next Sledgehammer game. So if you think Sledgehammer wasn't immediately aware of the community's reaction to Exo Movement, you'd be wrong, because this codename was in place while Advanced Warfare was still the main title. They were planning that far ahead. So it's incredible for two reasons. Firstly, that the leak from years ago was correct, and number two, that Sledgehammer planned to give the community what they wanted back during even when their game was present at that point in time, and they wanted to make the fans as happy as possible with what they could control. So they already planned ahead 3 years in advance to their next title. Now, continuing at the same Steelbook and Stronghold leaks a few days later on April 4th, someone posted more imagery matching the artwork that we've seen before with more demarcations of the title Stronghold, just furthermore continuing that line of information. Moving ahead once again though, 1 week's time to April 11th, there was another leak that indicated a little more information for the title coming this fall. Leaked on this day was a poster that supposedly gave us the release date as well as the first indication that PlayStation 4 users would once again have exclusivity rights for Call of Duty World War II. While this was also met with much skepticism, it was also later pointed out that there was a ton of similarities from this and what we had seen earlier in the leaked imagery of Omaha Beach, and it has since been confirmed to be true. The imagery denoted a Friday, November 3rd release date as well as PlayStation 4 exclusivity, all of which have once again been since confirmed. On the morning of April 21st, now just a few days ago, we actually ended up seeing a report that GameStop and other retailers would be getting promotional artwork for an Activision title on Tuesday, April 25th to set up in stores alongside a Destiny poster and branding for the site locations for promotional purposes. With this being branded as an Activision title, we knew that alongside Destiny this had to be Call of Duty, just no official name was given to it at that point in time, which often happens with this sort of thing, but only a few short hours later it became official. On April 21st, Activision, Sledgehammer, Condrey, and Schofield all announced that they were indeed working on and revealing Call of Duty World War II. Alongside the announcement came the confirmation of a worldwide reveal, as well as new promotional artwork to tease the game in the simplest of forms. Other imagery was found within the Activision login page, which new artwork was listed in certain boxes detailing what members can access and what the franchise is all about, but those have since been updated and changed back. As we've known from previous teasers though, this will be traditional boots on the ground gameplay and feature a compelling storyline, and a day later we had that officially confirmed to us when marketing material for World War II was leaked out. The marketing material went on to detail a few things: campaign, multiplayer, and co-op, as well as confirmed suspicions of a November 3rd release date, and gives us full satisfaction of knowing that a private beta was coming to the public as a pre-order bonus. As for the game descriptions though, however, the game overall was described as returning to its roots with breathtaking experiences that redefines World War II for a new gaming generation. Land in Normandy on D-Day and battle across Europe through iconic locations in history's most monumental war. Experience classic Call of Duty combat, the bonds of camaraderie, and the unforgiving nature of war against a global power throwing the world into tyranny. The campaign was then described as a story of unbreakable brotherhood of common men fighting to preserve freedom in a world on the brink of tyranny. Players enlist in a gritty, intense journey through the battlegrounds of war, and the campaign features a bold, lifelike visuals with the kind of blockbuster cinematic authenticity that only Call of Duty can deliver. Multiplayer, on the other hand, was described as engaging players in grounded, fast-paced combat across many of World War II's most iconic locations. Players will also enjoy the new, exciting ways to interact and socialize with their friends and the Call of Duty community. The final thing that was described in this marketing material was the high-octane cooperative, which it says unleashes a new and original story, and you're able to play with your friends in a next-level standalone game experience full of unexpected adrenaline-pumping moments. Now, alongside with some teasers that have recently come up from the London reveal and things alike, where we're ramping up for this official worldwide reveal tomorrow, along with the dates being plastered all over some billboards out in London, there's really only one other thing that is of major information to cover, which actually came out earlier today, and we touched on in a video earlier today as well. That being some new information that came out of a GameStop, in which it detailed more information on the private beta, the release date, and of course, a brand new collector's edition that we know now as the Pro Edition. Now, in this information that we got here out of this, it gave us once again the release date of November 3rd, which we've seen plastered on numerous places as of late. Then we had information on the beta, in which it goes along hand in hand with the DLC exclusivity of PlayStation. PlayStation 4 users will be able to get access for the first weekend of the beta, and then the second weekend following thereafter will belong to Xbox One and perhaps PC, and potentially PS4 players might get one again after that. We don't know if it's going to follow the same exact timetable as Infinite Warfare's or Black Ops 3's. Black Ops 3's only gave one weekend for each, but PlayStation 4 had access to both weekends for Infinite Warfare. So that's something that is yet to be determined, but gives us some more information that we will have a beta available as a pre-order bonus. Now, the final thing with this was the Pro Edition, that including the base game, a steelbook, and the season pass, alongside with some other digital content that will be released at a later date. Perhaps camos for an already existing game, or camos that will be given in-game for Call of Duty World War II at release. Whatever it may be, that is the encompassing factor though of the Pro Edition edition for Call of Duty World War II. And then that brings us right up to whenever this video goes live, and assuming in those couple of hours between recording this and it going live, we haven't had anything just yet pointing to more information coming out. But with that said, that brings you up to date, up to speed, and ready for tomorrow's reveal in its entirety. Call of Duty World War II is going to be revealed to the world tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. UK time. And for that, I'm super hyped. I'm extremely excited to bring you guys all this stuff here coming up to it. And starting tomorrow, we're gonna be once again hitting it hard, bringing you guys everything you need to know here regarding Call of Duty World War II. So with that said, once again, that brings you up to speed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little recap, and hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. Drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What are you guys looking forward to the most out of tomorrow's reveal, if anything at all? And of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Call of Duty World War II. Of course, with all this information out in the next couple of hours, we are going to be hammering it. So make sure you stick it right here up on the channel, as well as if you guys are interested in Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, all that good stuff, we got you covered. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys stuck through it this far, you guys are the true MVPs, and I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Nikolai Espresso. Take care, and peace.